All right, y'all. Back again. Another video. Blackout video. And I'm a little fatigued right now. Let's just say I'm a little under the influence. So I'm not going to be super energetic. I'm going to be very relaxed for this one. Uh, let's talk about this. Pelicans lose by 4. Not a bad loss. Not a bad loss. There's some things in this game that bothered me though. I mean, do you even defense? Like, do you even play D? Like, they didn't play any D this game, or they were playing like D. It was just ineffective. We saw two teams to play the same style of defense, and all we saw were threes being dropped. And it's funny. Go look at how many free throws were missed this game for the Pelicans. And I told you guys exactly what it would be. They literally missed the amount of free throws that would have kept the game tied. Literally. Can't make this stuff up. I predicted this. Can't make this stuff up. Lonzo was the human torch. Only got one shot in the second quarter, but he still had it going. Yeah, he made some good plays here, but he was putting on a passing clinic. Particularly late game, Lonzo was literally IQing them into shots that they shouldn't have got. Like, he had like 3 or 4 plays where he just came down and just used his IQ and made the right play, the right pass, and he got an easy shot off of it. Hell, some of the plays he made in the first quarter in particular, he was getting the ball in pick and roll situations to Zion. And it was funny because they closed out on Zoe because they're so scared of his 3 ball. Which, for good reason, the man was 6 of 10 tonight. 6 of 10 shooting from 3. Like, if people were saying he's at 40% now. I know he missed the last couple of threes, so we'll have to see. It may knock him down to like 39, 39.8, 39.9. But at one point, he had eclipsed 40% shooting from the 3 during the game, so we'll have to see. Lonzo shot 50% from the field. He was solid. He was solid. He was about, him and Josh Hart was the only ones out there trying to play defense. Bledsoe had to go in this game. How he ended up taking that shot in the 4th, I don't know. You guys, if you watch the game, you know what shot I'm talking about. I don't know how he ended up taking that shot, but it is what it is. I mean, he was making the shot, so I guess it wasn't necessarily a bad shot. Hey, he was on. Zion put on a fucking clinic. He put on a fucking clinic. He was 15 of 26. I believe he had 34 points. Him and Giannis was going at it. I got to give him credit. He raised Giannis everything that Giannis tried to give him. He was sitting there giving it back. He was like, "I see you. Hold this dunk." Which, oh, by the way, that Lonzo to Zion alley-oop thing has been showing up again. in the half court sets. I hadn't said anything about it until now, but I've noticed it. It's like the last 3 games or so, it's been popping up. Hell, even Josh Hart caught him on one. Bi. That nigga don't play. He don't show up to play on national televised games, man. I don't know what it is. Every single time, back to back national televised games, he garbage. He shot 11 of 24 today from the field. He had 23 points. Couldn't hit shit. Lonzo carried his ass the entire fucking game. Like literally, if Lonzo finished with 20 points and 8 assists and 1 rebound, like literally 1 fucking rebound, which is understandable. Milwaukee's tall. Steven Adams had 13 rebounds. I think he had 7 points. But Lonzo literally carried Bi. There was a point in the game, and I looked at this as like this game is a story of the quarters. First quarter was the Zoe Zion show. Second quarter was the all hell break loose, no defense will be played quarter. Third quarter was the Bi starting to heat up and catch up quarter. And the fourth quarter was the oh no quarter. Look, this ain't a bad loss. I'm gonna reiterate, this is not a bad loss. You don't want to lose a close game like this. But if think about this, you're talking about losing a game to the 2-time MVP within the last couple seconds of the game. You still had a chance up until like the very last minute to win the game. That scramble situation, I'm not sure. I think the Pels had a timeout. I could be wrong. I know that that's against conventional wisdom to take a timeout because it's like defense gets set and all that. I think I would have almost preferred them taking a timeout just to get set. You know, Lonzo could have had a look. I don't like the look. Like nobody really like Milwaukee's defense was tight when it mattered. It was tight when it mattered. Like everybody, you know, they say, "Oh, well, Lonzo could have got the shot off." Yeah, but Lonzo shot. He would have had to adjust that shot. He would, like, he didn't really have the time he needed to fully get where he wanted to get that shot off. Bi had a look he didn't take because he had Giannis on him, and eventually Bi turned the ball over with a charge. Um, Zion, if I'm not mistaken, he had like 4 or 5 turnovers. Can't have that. Cannot have that. And I think he was blocked like 5 times. You know, but that's understandable. Teams with like guys like that, they're going to get blocked shots on Zion. Stan didn't even go deep into his bench. He just played Josh Hart, JJ, and Willie Hernangomez. He didn't play Kira, No, or anybody else. He just played the starters plus those guys. Zion got like 38 minutes this game. Like, no, correct. Yeah, he had like 37, 38 minutes. Bi got like 36. Lonzo had like 34. Starters played a lot of minutes. They ate a lot of minutes this game. I guess Stan said, fuck all that other shit, man. We trying to win games. Ain't playing these bums. Look, we saw a couple things this game. Um, Obviously, the defensive scheme that the Bucks run under Budenholzer, the same one that the Pels run. They prefer to take away the rack or the paint and to give you the three, which is why the score was abnormally high. Halftime, the score was 69-68. Uh, they was out there hitting every damn shot you could think of. Like that pace and the way they were playing was so fast. Like shots was going up at an alarming rate. The fact that Zion had 26 shots alone should tell you something. Bi had 25 shots, and that's before Zoe taking his 14, and Zoe only had one shot the entire second quarter. And at one point, Zoe was 4-5 shooting from the three. But I digress. Pels bench still is not good. Even shrinking it and playing like your starters a lot more. Pels bench still isn't good. Still isn't good. Bledsoe last time he played against the Bucks, he had a pretty good game. I think that he just, it's those there's guys when they get traded, they want to go off on the team that traded them to teach them a lesson. I think that's all that was. He was feeling it early in the game. I'll give him credit. He was knocking down everything. He was knocking down everything. But look, man, Pelicans need an answer for Chris Middleton. And I know that's like Chris Middleton. He's too strong for Zoe, and he's too fast for Zion. He's also too strong for Bi. Like none of them can hold him. And then we got Josh Hart on Giannis. Like to me, it's just like, okay, I guess that's what we're gonna do. I mean, to give Josh Hart credit, there was a couple plays, especially like that second quarter, where he kind of neutralized Zion, or at least made it fair. They started to play a little bit better D, because at one point they were just leaving the paint open. They started packing the paint, and so Giannis started settling for jump shots. But man, the defense could have been better. You know, I know I don't know how they ended the game, but I know at one point Chris Webber was talking about fast break points. The Pelicans had like 2, and the Bucks had 22. They got out of ran. They were taking advantage of a lot of jump shot misses from Bi and some of the others, and they were using that to springboard their offense because Giannis just couldn't be stopped. I mean, overall, like I said, this won't be too bad of a loss. The Pelicans shouldn't have beat this team. They're not ready yet. Nor should they beat a team like the Lakers. But for them to even have been competitive, I got to tip my hat off to the guys. I think they did very well given the circumstances. But let's segue into another conversation here. So let's talk about Lonzo for a little bit. Contract talks are starting to become a major topic because of Lonzo right now. Because I'm not sure what his 3-point shot stats are going to look like after this game. If it is 40, then great. If not, he's still doing good. But, for a guy as polarizing as he is. Like I don't think I've heard too many contract extension talks being this hotly contested for a team. Like there's a segment of the Pelicans fans that do not want to pay Lonzo anything more than like mid-level exception for like a seasoned vet or role player money. And then there's another group that thinks he's going to get the max, and then there's another group that's saying, okay, he's going to get what the market says, and then that kind of usually dictates on what people think the market is going to be, you know. So I've told you what I think. He's going to have to get 22 million. Like if especially like I said in my other video the other day, if he's shooting 40% from three, you got to think about this. 40% from three, elite, all like second team defense. First of all, that's not a common package in general in the league. Let's just be up front. A guy who makes first and second team all defense plus can shoot 40% from three, that don't happen. Plus he can be a playmaker for your team, that don't happen. Plus he can go get rebounds, that don't happen. In one body, that does not happen. So there's going to be a lot of arguments in the next coming weeks about what his pay scale should be. And I'll be listening, keep my ears to the streets on what that's going to look like for other teams. I've heard Chicago has bowed out and said they're not going to trade for Lonzo, which makes sense. Why do that when you could just overpay for him in free agency anyway? So he's an RFA. No, he can't just go. Another team basically has to make him an offer that the Pelicans can't match. That's how you get him. And honestly, the Pelicans have an option to sit there and say, well, shit, if you want to pay for him for this much, I'll cut you a deal. We'll do a sign and trade with you. And you send us XYZ players, and then that way you don't have to overpay for them, and then we can get what we need. Let's work something out. If anything, that's likely what's going to happen. I don't see a team trading valuable assets for this year just to get a couple weeks of Zoe. Especially under these circumstances where you don't get to learn the offense and you don't get to practice as much. I don't see that happening. So Lonzo likely is going to get one of these sign and trade things where a team he's discussed or wants to go to is going to contact the Pelicans, or it's going to say, hey, look, we're going to offer him, or we're offering him such and such, let's do this. And the Pelicans will be like, well, just make that phone call and be like, look, man, why don't we make this deal instead? That's what I think is likely going to happen at this point. Look, the way like Lonzo's shooting the way he did like today, there's nobody else on the team who's shooting like he is and shooting the three ball like he is. They have to keep him. The Pelicans have to do whatever they can to keep him. You're not going to get that again. Lonzo's don't just grow on trees. Look at like some of the best quote unquote 3-and-D or floor spacers in the league, like Joe Harris, who's not really a 3-and-D guy, Robert Covington and stuff. They're not putting up all defensive level defense with 40 plus percent 3-point shoot. You're just not getting that. And then all the other stuff I mentioned. They're going to have to pay him. They have to come out and pay him. Even the game where Bledsoe was going off, Bledsoe still wasn't better than Zoe. And again, Zoe was carrying the fuck out of B.I. Like, again, I told you guys yesterday, watch how he flexes. He started shooting. As B.I. got it, he started focusing in on other things, defense. And then as B.I. and Zion started coming and they noticed that they couldn't get the shots, he went to playing full-time point guard. He started facilitating. He literally will flex and give you everything that is necessary for the game, as I've told you guys. That kind of versatility, IQ, know-how, understanding of the game. Look, man, And I know I got the LaMelo stands mad at me for my video earlier, but fuck y'all. Melo ain't doing that shit right now. He just not. So yes, Zoe is better right now. I'm not saying that he's going to be better forever. But currently, LaMelo cannot do all of that stuff that I mentioned. Yes, some of the things that LaMelo does is better, but he is not doing it. There's no way LaMelo could replicate this on the Pelicans. His shooting isn't as good, and I've given the stats for that. 39%, which is now 40 probably, versus 35%. Passing, and even if Melo was on this team, he wouldn't be running point guard. He'd be doing the same shit Lonzo is. And Lonzo is way better at being a 3 and D player than Melo is. The ability to flexibly play out or play different positions, that's Lonzo right now. I hope that we're gonna see going forward more Lonzo Zion 2 man game. We've been seeing it some, but especially the second unit with JJ Redick, that's been like their go-to thing. And let's, you know what? Let's talk about this too. I'm so sick of Josh Hart on the ball on offense. He cannot pass. He cannot feed the low man. He is not a ball handler, and yet somehow he's ending up with the ball, dribble, 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 wasting time on the clock, and then you got to give to Zion or Bi to make a play in the last couple seconds, like 7 seconds left in the shot clock. That is not good offense. It's not good offense. It's just not. And these are issues that I told you guys are going to keep popping up. Pelicans got to get a better roster. And I don't think they have the pieces necessary to get the better roster. This is just what they got. And this isn't going to be a playoff team. And even if they made the playoffs, they're losing because they can't hit their fucking free throws. And the guy that you want to run point guard is a turnover fucking machine. There's going to be a point in the season where I think they're gonna have to look at point guard Zion and be like, "Look, man, you turn the ball over, and it's like we can't just go put the ball back in Bi hands because he's got a separate set of issues. They're gonna have to try to play Lonzo at point guard, and then I think they'll have to see like, okay, look, maybe we still got to groom Zion a little bit more, but right now the numbers are gonna bear this out that they're better with him playing point guard. But I'm telling you, if these turnovers continue, like he goes through a stretch of games where he's getting like 5+ turnovers, they gotta look at him like taking care of the ball. Be like, maybe we need to take him off the ball some, and like give some of that duty to Zoe. Like that's probably the best you can hope for in terms of Zoe running point guard, or in stretches of the game where it's just like, okay, I need to get these guys off ball so that I can get them into their sets and get them in a position to make the game easier to come to them. Because I know Zoe fed like 3 or 4 different guys, and it was just like, damn, how did he see that? Like, oh damn, what a play, what a pass. Like he literally passed this guy open. Like, oh, this man is sealed. Who dump off? Like he was doing that. That shit, like it's stuff that we should be used to by now. But you sit there, you just like, wow, he really is a talented ass passer in the half fucking court. By the way, because there's some people out there that seem to think that he can't play in the half court for whatever fucking reason. Anyway, that's all I got. This ain't like my other videos. Like I said, I'm a little under the influence right now. It's taking a lot just for me to sit here and do this. Hell, I was tired and wanted to go to sleep before this game. So I'm about to get off. I'm gonna take my ass to sleep. Look, I hope y'all have a good night. I look forward to reading the comments in the morning. I look forward to responding to you guys' comments and everything. And yeah, man, y'all have a good one. See y'all later. Good night. Peace.